Hi, I'm Joanne Price from the Autoimmune Group. You can reach us on the web at www.autoimmunegroup.com. We're a face-to-face support group that meets in central New Jersey, and I just supplement our website with a video blog every now and then, just to offer the members some support. And actually, anybody can receive support from what we talk about here in my kitchen. Today I'm actually drinking the coffee with you, so I hope you don't mind. Anyway, today we're talking about levels of stress and what that can do to you with a chronic illness, as well as what you can maybe try to minimize the levels of stress in your life, or at least combat them a little bit. So what kinds of things actually cause stress? Obviously, the negative things that come to mind, fighting with somebody in your life, a spouse or a child or a sibling, whatever. Those kinds of things. The negative stuff seems to be pretty obvious. Financial stress, if there's not enough money, and obviously when we're disabled from working, a lot of times, it's just inescapable. But you have to keep in mind too that positive things can also stress your body and tax your body. Things like getting a new home or adding a baby into the family. Those are wonderful events, but still stressful. An upcoming wedding, whether it's for you or a child of yours, or even attending a wedding can be stressful on your body, because you have to figure out what you're going to give for a gift. You have to figure out what you're going to wear. Do you have to go shop for something, God forbid? And even just getting ready the day of is, if people knew how long it took for us and how much energy was expended, and that just doing that portion of the day can, kind of knock you down, and you don't really have any energy going forward for the event because you used it all with the hair straightener. But the good things and the bad things can all cause stress levels to happen. Now, how do you know if your body is experiencing stress? Not all of us are going to whip out the blood pressure cuff and, do a comparison with what our normal is. Anyway, what can we look for to be a tip-off? I know with me, I tend to get a little irritable. I don't know why that is, but I get irritable if I'm stressed out. I don't know if any of you experience the same thing. My body will really start to sweat, and that's disgusting. It also undoes a lot of what you're doing. So, just trying to get ready and you're using that hot blow dryer, it's just, you're throwing heat at yourself. And then, you move into the makeup stage and all of a sudden you're just sweating and you don't know why. And the blow dryer's, been put away for 10 minutes or a half an hour or whatever, but now you're sweating, and that's probably more of a stress response. Also, when you're under stress, like with a deadline or something like that, sometimes you're just not as clear-minded. We call that brain fog in our circles. And the brain fog is a tip-off when it's more than normal. So that can happen over long periods. I mean, if you're under financial stress month after month after month because you can't work, then a lot of times that brain fog will be there almost like a constant. And that's because the stress is at a constant. So how can we prevent stress? Number one, you have to have a plan. And part of that plan is building in periods of rest. So let's say you have a wedding on Saturday, and let's say it's 2 weeks away. You might want to consider giving cash as a gift or a gift card, because you don't have to shop for that present. You can just stick a check in the card or cash or whatever. If you need a dress, you can if you have the ability, take 2 or 3 dresses off the rack, bring them home, and try them on when you're able to. Not everybody can try on, 6 dresses in the dressing room. So if you can go with a style that you know is going to be flattering for your body type, if you have the financial means, bring them home, pay for them, bring them home. Pay for them and then bring them home. Try them on, 1 at a time, 1 each day, however you can manage it. And then return the 2 that don't work for you. There are ways to buy online as well and do the same thing. Then that way you're not even going into the store. And the day of, you're going to want to build in periods of rest so that when you arrive at your event, you can actually enjoy it. So let's say you have to be out the door at the very latest 1 o'clock. You're not going to want to start getting ready at 11 a.m. if you know that it's going to take you 2 hours to get ready. You're really going to want to start getting ready even the night before. Lay everything out that you can, even lay out the makeup that you're going to put on so that you're not digging through the drawers and wondering where you left that lipstick. Maybe it's in your purse or whatever. Do all that the day ahead of time. Avoid pantyhose if you can, because that's very challenging to get on, and it's not even really in style anymore to wear them. There's makeup you can buy for your legs that goes on as quick as a lotion, and some of it is spray on, and you leave it set for about 2 minutes, and then you can put your clothes on, and it makes your legs look tan, but it also hides some flaws. So that's a great trick. That way you're not as hot as you would be with pantyhose, and also you're not struggling pulling the pantyhose up. Don't even attempt the Spanx, people. The Spanx are for you so that you feel more comfortable and confident in how you present to the world. I'm not so sure that Spanx really, anybody who meets you is really looking that closely. I mean, I don't know. Do a check by how you look at other people, and are you looking to see if they have Spanx on? I don't know. I suffer from rolls like the rest of us, especially at a certain age, but I think I'm just caring less. The last 2 weddings that I went to, I had the Spanx on, and forget it if it's an outdoor wedding. I don't know what people are thinking with an outdoor wedding in New Jersey, but they need to rethink it. But an hour into the reception, I'm in the bathroom pulling the Spanx off and jamming them in my pocketbook. So that's wasted energy, all of it. Just be comfortable. If you're comfortable, you're going to have more fun. You'll have a little more energy too. I'm sorry if I'm hitting the table and making the camera shake. Okay, so anyway, the planning, like I was saying, it starts ahead of time. Looking at the calendar, making sure you have the gift ahead of time, your dress ahead of time, and don't let it be the day before. Really block off your calendar at least the day before. Nothing to do on that day. No laundry, no vacuuming. Don't even cook dinner, frozen pizza, whatever. Just use the day before as a storage of your energy for the day that you're going to need it. And then you're also going to want to pad those days in after the event. And you may need 2 or 3 of those days. So when you get the invitation in the mail, go directly to your calendar and mark those days off. If you have a doctor appointment, move it. Take that time ahead of time so that when the event comes, you're going to be able to really enjoy it. So you're really going to be able to enjoy it. And then the day of, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, we got started on the day of the event. Don't start 2 hours prior. The night before, you're going to lay everything out. You're going to make sure you get to bed good and early. You're going to get up at a decent time. You're going to have a good breakfast. You're going to just move along at a glacial pace if you can. And then do your getting ready in stages. Take your shower, lay down. 10 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. Just lay down, cool off, let your body equalize. Then if you really absolutely have to blow dry your hair, that's the next thing. You're still in your robe, just get your hair dry. But then you need to lay down again, another 10 or 15 minutes. And, you know, I know what you're thinking, but my hair, I just fixed it. Well, you have to, or you're going to be a sweaty mess, aren't you? Aren't you really going to start sweating with the makeup and all that? If you have to just like recline on a couch and maybe put a pillow behind your shoulders, which will keep your hair from getting completely flattened. But do what you have to do so that you can put your feet up in a cool setting and just don't talk to anybody, close your eyes, and just really bring it down. Focus on your breathing and just really get your body to a calmer place. Then, you know, you do your makeup, lay down another 10 minutes. You're not going to like roll your head around in the pillow. You're just going to gently relax somewhere and then go on to the next step, which is getting dressed. Plan the jewelry out ahead of time. Don't be putting jewelry on. That's impossible for you. Like if you can't get your hands behind your neck, do the necklace that goes over the head with the, you know, the long ones are in now anyway, so you'll be cool. Earrings are great, but if you're going to be struggling with it, find things that are easy and work well, or just leave it off. I find a big chunky bracelet is not only in season right now, but it polishes your look and you're not sticking your hands behind your neck or struggling with an earring that you can't really see where it's supposed to go. So, you know, just take little shortcuts. Don't wear heels. If heels are going to bother your legs all night, or if you're going to pay for wearing heels for days after, don't do it. Don't put yourself through it. Wear flats. Sandals are great, especially if they have the little sling back around them to keep them steady. You don't want to be unsafe. You want to be comfortable, and you don't want to be halfway through the wedding or whatever it is and then feel like you have to kick off your shoes and be shoeless, because that's not polite, but like, you know, you're not fully dressed then. And honestly, it's usually the drunk people that are kicking their shoes off. So, you know, if that's what you have to do, do it. But they even have these really cute little slipper footwear, ballerina style shoes that are rolled up in a tiny little package, and you put them in your purse. And if you're truly desperate, you put those on. It's not going to help you if somebody steps on your foot on the dance floor, but, you know, it's an option and it's comfortable. I always stick a pair of, I go in the car wearing my slippers. I put my shoes on right when we arrive. And then the minute we get back in the car, off come the heels. Or even the sandals. I don't even want them on. The minute I get back in the car, it's the slippers. I don't drive in them. I'm usually not the driver. So we leave that to Mr. P. He drives everywhere. So anyway, little tricks just to, you know, keep yourself comfortable. You want to hydrate really well the day that you're going anywhere, because we forget to drink all of our water the day that we're really super busy, but that's the day we need it the most. Stress, you know, you're going to just elevate everything. Your body's just churning faster than usual. At least start drinking 2 hours ahead so that, you know, and I know concerns about the bathroom usage and if you're driving 3 hours away or whatever, but build those stops in too. You don't want to drive 3 hours anywhere. Not when you have joint pain, muscle pain. You're just asking to be a crumpled up mess when you get there. So plan to stop every hour, if even only for 5 or 10 minutes. Use the bathroom, walk around. Walk around the car if you have to. Just do 1 lap or 2 and then get back in. But, you know, don't be in one position for the entire time that you're driving to the place. I hope you're drinking coffee with me. All right, so we talked about planning in those periods of rest. And then with your calendar, again, block them off the day or two before and a good couple of days after. That way you'll have time to bounce back. You want to let your body settle back in after all the fun and stress. And you want to be able to tell your body to turn off that response. If you're in a constant level of stress, cortisol is going to be increased, which causes weight gain. And, that's just an icky, ugly spiral. If you're in a flare-up, you might then require to have to go on prednisone again, which God knows we love that and hate it at the same time. Again, with the bloating and the weight gain. So do what you can to prevent needing that kind of stuff. And obviously you want to take extra good care of yourself leading up to anything that's an event and coming off of the event. Make sure you're getting to bed at the right time. Make sure you're taking your vitamins. If you're going to be around a lot of other people, make sure you get extra vitamin C, so that your immune system is bolstered, so that you're not coming in contact with, Aunt Trixie's two little 3-year-old twins that are snoozing all over the place and coughing on your skirt and whatnot. So just make sure you're going to do that. And then also pre-medicate. Think ahead about medicating yourself. If you need pain meds, you're going to want to make sure that you take them an hour before the event starts. You might even need to pre-medicate before you're getting ready. So you might plan it so that you take something right before you start getting ready, and then by the time you're in the car driving, you're managing that because you took the pain pill already. And then maybe you plan it so that your 4 hours is up as you're getting ready to enter the church for the ceremony portion, so that it's in full effect when you hit the reception. But being very careful not to overdo it during the reception, because if you've taken your pain pill, you might underestimate how much dancing or activity you're doing, and then you might pay the price later. So just watch out for that little snafu. And when you're doing your laying down in between getting ready and all that, take that opportunity to just let your mind go completely blank. Some would call that meditation. I actually call it meditation, but I don't want you to think I'm saying meditation. But let your mind go blank, because the place of no thought, the gap between the thoughts, that's where we can tap into the reserves that come from the universal energy. And that's important because that's actually there for us all the time to tap into. We're going to talk a lot more about that when we get to spirituality. But just, just relax to the point where you don't have any thoughts. The other thing that can be beneficial is the deep breathing. And, we've all heard that done to death, but you can either do it through one nostril, or you can do and each time that you do it, you'll feel your body settle in deeper and deeper into the chair or the couch that you're sitting on, or the bed. And then I just wanted to mention one other thing about trying to plan for these stressful events in our life. I love singing. That's probably my passion, is singing. And a lot of you know that I sing for my church, but I couldn't do it if I realized early on that the stress that I was experiencing the first few times that I did it, if I was going to do that to my body every single time, then I just couldn't do it, because it was not going to be healthy for me. As much as I love it, and I need to sing pretty much on a daily basis when nobody's looking. But I need to do it for my spirituality and for my soul and, my happiness. But if I'm going to do it in front of a crowd and I'm going to let that need to be perfect rule my stress level, I had to learn how to let it go. If you come to group and I'm there, I will tell the story of my most embarrassing moment singing in front of the church. And I just use that in my mind. I just say, you can't top that ridiculousness. That mistake was so funny and so embarrassing that I can't top it. So I know that the biggest mistake I could possibly make has already been done. It's behind me now, except when we chuckle about it at church and the priest clearly remembers. But anyway, my point is, you can't take yourself so seriously. You got to let go of being perfect, and most of us with this autoimmune disease probably started out as type A personalities. And I know that you know what that is. I don't even have to explain it. But sometimes we get these illnesses because of what they teach us. And again, we'll discuss that more in spirituality. But I'm just suggesting that you figure out a way to let it be okay to not be perfect. Laugh at yourself if you have to. And still find a way to include those things in your life, because you want to go to the wedding. You don't want to say, I'm sorry I can't attend your wedding because I'm sick every single time. You don't want to deprive yourself of life's greatest moments with your friends and family. That's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. So we have to try to figure out a way to get there and yet not sacrifice where our health currently is and backslide, because that's not fair to us. One thing I have learned that I need to share with you, importantly, urgently, because I just figured this out, and you're probably all going to go like, yeah, Joanne, of course. I was planning my schedule and thinking I was doing a great job, and I knew where my cutoff was of, I figured out what is too much for me, and I was planning my calendar through the week, looking at the 7 days in a block, and I was booking myself right up to the line. I only work like 4 hours in a chunk, so I would say I'm going to work 4 hours for you over here and 2 hours for you over there, and then I'm going to do this rehearsal for choir and this singing in front of people at church and this coffee with this friend and shopping for groceries over here. Well, what ended up happening is something would eventually pop in that needed to be taken care of. Stuff that I just couldn't plan for or foresee at the time. The dog has to go to the vet, or Patrick gets really sick and has to go to the doctor and I need to drive him or, take him, or whatever it is. There's just stuff that happens. So, or the kids will invite me to something that they didn't think far enough ahead to say it, but I don't want to say no. So what I realized is the new key phrase is underbook. Figure out what your ability to stay level is, and then take at least one thing out, so that when inevitably life throws you a curveball and adds something back in, you'll have the ability to say yes without then going over that line. So I hope that's helpful for you guys today. The next installment will be about therapy, pros and cons to going to therapy. Most of you know I'm very pro-therapy. However, even I can admit that there are negative things to therapy. So we'll talk about that next time. And I hope to see you all at a group meeting soon. The next one coming up is going to be August 12th. And then after that, September 9th, I believe. All right. Great chat. I'm going to go finish my coffee. It's probably cold. All right. Enjoy your day. Be well, my friends. Talk to you soon.